This is breaking news from News 8.
We are following breaking news this morning in our Sunrise Smart Start. One person is dead after a crash involving multiple vehicles overnight in Rochester. Here's a live look at the scene. Officers responding to the area near East Main Street around 2 o'clock this morning. Police say 2 cars were involved in the crash, with one driver pronounced dead and another with serious injuries. Exchange Street to St. Paul Street will be closed for much of the morning. Avoid that area if you can. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is due to appear virtually in court today. Albany County District Attorney David Soares requested that the criminal charge against Cuomo be dropped. Soares said even though the complaint is credible, prosecutors do not think they can meet their burden of proof at a trial. The former governor has denied all allegations of sexual harassment and inappropriate touching. Geneva police are asking the public for help in locating a missing person. Authorities say 32-year-old Brent Crandall has been missing since Sunday. He's described as 5'9", 195 pounds, with blue eyes and brown hair. They say he was last seen wearing a red sweatshirt and sweatpants and may be in the Corning area down in the southern tier. Anyone with information regarding his whereabouts is asked to call Geneva police at 315-828-6771 or call 911. State police are investigating after a car crash involving the acting chief of police in Greece. We're told this happened on Coon Road and Country Place Lane in Greece on Wednesday. According to officials, acting chief Jason Helfer tried to avoid another car that turned into the path of his police cruiser. He was hit, lost control, and struck a telephone pole. Helfer was taken to the hospital for evaluation. The other driver declined treatment at the scene. The New York State Gaming Commission has announced that 4 licensed mobile sports betting providers will be able to launch in New York tomorrow. These providers being Caesars Sportsbook, DraftKings, FanDuel, and Rush Street Interactive. We're told all 4 have cleared all of the necessary requirements to do so. As for the over 5 conditionally licensed mobile sports wagering operators aiming to launch in New York, officials say they are continuing to work towards satisfying the necessary requirements and will be approved on a rolling basis when those requirements are met. My good friend James Gilbert and I are reunited on this fine morning broadcast on Channel 8. And I am excited that you finally delivered some lake effect snow that I have been yearning for weeks now in this area.
Right, and we've been teasing it, right? Lake Ontario, both Lake Ontario and Erie have been so incredibly warm. We knew it was coming, and finally it made it here. Lake effect snow showers now for us. Buffalo was the beneficiary yesterday. We're getting it today, so it is cold. We're in the 20s, and we've got flakes flying likely through the afternoon. So if you're driving anywhere, really, 104, 590 northbound, certainly going to be a little bit snowy as we kick off this morning. That continues through the afternoon. Wayne County going to be the biggest winner with snowfall totals. Looking at numbers anywhere in the 3, 4, maybe 5 to 6 inch range later tonight. We'll have the bus stop forecast at the end of the show. John?
All right, James, thank you. Exchange Street to St. Paul Street will be closed for much of the morning due to the crash we've been talking about. Avoid that area if you can. No accidents on the major roadways in the region. 390, 490, 590, all running on time. And luckily that lake effect snow not impacting those travelways right now. For the latest on COVID-19, local health officials say the recent surge fueled by the Omicron variant could peak soon. Meanwhile, Rochester General Hospital had to divert patients last night due to limited bed space. Incoming patients were forced to be taken elsewhere for about 4 hours. That is the second time this week that the hospital system has made that decision. Local health officials say a majority of those being hospitalized and put on a ventilator are the unvaccinated.
When you dig deeper, there are more people who are on the floor, not in the ICU, not ventilated, which is good. But again, the predominant party that's being affected in the ICU and ventilated are the folks who are not vaccinated. So we are seeing more milder illness, but we are seeing more illness just by virtue of the fact that we're seeing more people who are positive.
Monroe County health officials also announcing this week they are adopting new quarantine guidance from the State Department of Health. Those who contract the coronavirus are able to end their isolation period after 5 days as opposed to the previous 10. Looking at the latest numbers, Monroe County health officials reporting nearly 3,000 new COVID cases during yesterday's update. Over 1,600 of those being lab-confirmed cases and around 1,200 at-home positive tests. 553 people are hospitalized with the virus in the Finger Lakes region. 122 are in intensive care. After the Rochester City School District decided to return to remote learning until at least Monday, other districts around Monroe County saying they're working hard to keep the kids in the classroom. However, some local superintendents say a shift to online learning is not out of the question. President of the Monroe County Council of Superintendents, Bo Wright, explained coming back from holiday break for most districts has not been easy. Staffing issues have also become a concern across many local districts as well.
We are using intervention teachers, librarians, paraprofessionals to help supervise classrooms. Everybody is walking a razor-thin line right now. I think it's important to say that. And I think it's important that our communities know the measures that school districts are taking so that we're open for in-person learning every day.
Wright also tells us they do have computers and other resources to send home with students if need be. Many new COVID testing sites are opening up across the state. Some are offering both PCR and rapid antigen testing. With that, it is important to note there are some key differences between the tests. For the most part, for the most accurate results, medical experts say go with a PCR. They're able to detect the virus's presence up to 48 hours prior to your symptom onset. On top of that, rapid testing may also be less effective at picking up the spreading Omicron variant.
PCR, which is polymerase chain reaction, and that's when you're actually looking for the genetic material of the pathogen itself. So you're looking for the bug's genetic makeup. Antigen testing, which is the other type of diagnostic testing, looks for the byproduct of the pathogen.
Experts add, despite their weaknesses, rapid tests are still valuable, especially if you're symptomatic. A positive rapid test can immediately let you know if you have to isolate. However, if you're showing symptoms and a rapid test does not come back positive, you're advised to be skeptical of your results and try to seek out a PCR test. Well, after drivers were stranded earlier this week on Interstate 95 in Northern Virginia due to heavy snowfall there, many people are wondering what to do in this situation. Steve Horns is a business advisor with AAA. He says there are certain items you should always have in your car, especially if you're traveling long distances often. Those include water, food, change of clothes, even a blanket. He also advises you to be aware of what your travel conditions will be like before you hit the road.
Normally what I do when I go to travel is the first thing I do is check the weather to make sure that the path that I'm going to be traveling is going to be safe and that it's not going to be impacted by weather. If you do run the car during any type of weather condition, make sure the exhaust is clear, make sure everything is clear, that there's nothing impacting or impeding any type of airflow to you or to the vehicle.
Horn adds it's not just the weather that can lead you to a situation where you're stranded in your car. If your vehicle breaks down, you can find yourself in a similar circumstance, especially if you're in a remote area. He says being prepared for circumstances like these is essential. Time now for the GRE Morning Business Report. The number of Americans signing up for unemployment benefits rose last week. According to the Labor Department, first-time filings for weekly jobless claims increased by 7,000 to 207,000. A new jobs report is set to be released today. The spread of the Omicron variant is expected to fuel more inflation. That's the prediction of the chief economist of the National Retail Federation and other industry watchers. The agency's economic watchdog says it's because consumers continue to shop online, which adds pressure to already snarly supply chains, which have been a key inflation contributor. One of the nation's biggest banks is trying to get employees boosted with a philanthropic twist. According to Reuters, Bank of America workers were told it will donate $100 to food banks for every employee who gets a COVID-19 booster shot. The incentive will reportedly run through the end of the month. Well, here's what some folks might be talking about at the water cooler this morning. The Buffalo Bills with a chance to clinch the AFC East for a second year in a row when they take on the Jets Sunday in Orchard Park. When these two teams faced off in November, Buffalo cruised to a 45-17 win. Kickoff is 4:25 right here on CBS. Highmark Stadium is offering a select number of fans free tickets if they come before the game and shovel the heavy snow that has accumulated over the past few days. Now, that's weird to me because I was in Orchard Park yesterday. They got a dusting, so I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
I was there.
Right.
But maybe today with the snowfall, they'll need some help. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe they got a little bit overnight, but really nothing significant.
No, it was amazing. And then 10 miles north of there, 1.5 feet.
Yeah, so I'm sure the line is probably pretty good for the Bills for that game.
Absolutely. They're looking to clinch at home. Haven't done that in years.
Yeah, right. I'd love to see that. You know, a little bit of flakes out there, but should be no issue. Still, kids want boots for the bus stop. Pick up, temperatures stuck in the 20s, certainly some lake effect around. And yeah, return home could have some flakes flying as well, feeling like the single digits. So maybe the layer even underneath the jacket, a good idea. We'll finish off with the 8-day forecast here. If you're thinking about the weekend, I got the forecast. I like Saturday. I think it looks nice, mostly sunny. It will certainly be cooler than Sunday. But Sunday, you got the wintry mix coming in. Some rain showers, a cold front that could bring maybe some ice in there as well. Temperatures in the 40s. John, it's been lovely working with you today. I hope we can make it happen again.
I don't want it to be too much of a regular occurrence. I'm grabbing the camera and going at this hour. Give me a fist bump, buddy.
Yeah,
always a pleasure. Thank you for putting up with us. And you enjoy your Friday. Our next update coming up in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next.